Welcome back to the Frith Guild podcast. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm co-host Scott.
And that was a chick. And today we are going to be getting into the Astra Academy series. So excited. So the first two books were already out. When I finished reading the Frith series, I actually took a couple months of a break to read something else to kind of cleanse my palate a little bit, and then get into the Astra series. All right, and today we're going to be getting into the first book of the series, Academy Arcanist. This is so excited. And like, covers of the book mean things with Shammy, so we will have to see where that goes. And just saying, if you guys have not seen the hardcover edition of this book, it's so amazing how it's the two different, the negative essentially. So I'm not saying you should definitely go out and buy one, but they look pretty dang cool.
It's highly recommended.
Definitely highly recommended. And with that, we'll get into chapter 1 today.
Chapter 1, In My Dreams. So we are first introduced to a kid who is having nightmares of monsters. He's being attacked in his dreams. We find out that this is Gray. So his dad thinks he's telling tales. He is not. He's got scars to prove it. We do learn that he is not from a magical family. So his dad's actually a candle maker. There's really only unicorns and a couple hippogriffs on the island that he lives on. So not really a good chance of him ever becoming an Arcanist, but we can tell that is his dream. His dad even jokes about these nightmares, which I feel like is pretty rude when your kid's got scars to like, hey dad, I'm kind of bleeding here. But
a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound, yes. We are also introduced to his twin brother who just wants to protect him, and that is his brother Sorin, and his brother is a poet.
And that's where chapter 2 picks up with Arcanist protection. We are in a dream. We're aware that we're dreaming, but we are unfortunately unable to wake up, even though his brother Sorin has suggested, just wake up. I love that Gray tries to logic his way out of the monster attack. And again, here's some more, some pure nightmare fuel, just because other things in the beginning of the first series didn't do that for us. We are now faced with a spider that is made with wooden hands, like marionette puppet, and its hands are like humans. And we have a face that's covered in a stage mask with just 2 holes and a straight line for its mouth, and it moves in this really, really jerky, like unhinged looking pattern, like motion.
It's creepy.
Like, this is definitely like, kudos. You've invented the nightmare dream stealing creature. This also reminds me a lot of the true form manticore because of the mask. And I was like kind of waiting to see if there's something going to be relevant to that as we got it into this.
Yeah, there's no mention of it like removing the mask at all, but you wonder with the manticore, like what's underneath the mask.
Exactly. Does it have any special abilities underneath it, like if it takes the mask off? So again, as Gray is running for his life, he's about to get Freddied. And the Freddy from the Friday the 13th. Gosh, I get that reference wrong. Wow. Nightmare on Elm Street?
A scary movie, I couldn't tell you.
Neither am I, but I know that there's one of them that goes into the dreams and kills
scissors.
people.
Yeah. It's Nightmare on Elm Street, but I don't know if it's... I think it's Freddy. That sounds right.
Okay.
Let's Google this, because apparently I went to Google it and typed nightmare like it's Shammy's nightmare, and that's not going to come up with anything. It is Freddy Krueger is Nightmare on Elm Street, so...
Okay, cool. I had it right. I just had the movie wrong. So, as we are about to get Freddied, something just comes through and murks the spider, and the intentional mention of dream logic to explain things, I love it. because again, there's just dream logic is one of those things you just can't explain why you know things, but you do. We do find out the main character's full name is Gray Lexly, and he's introduced to a woman with inky black hair, lavender eyes, and her name is Riley Helmuth. If this isn't a hint, hint, wink, wink for the future. We find out she is a professor at the Astra Academy for Arcanist. And I'm not sure why I really love having titles of books in the book, but I love it. Always do.
It's just a little happy moment, like, oh, they said the title.
Or just like in movies where they like happen to say the title of the movie in the movie, and even better when they break the fourth wall when they do it. But we find out that Riley is bonded to an ethereal whelk, which is why she is able to come in his dream and help him out.
Chapter 3 is a foolproof plan. So we actually wake up this time. We still do have some injuries, so we escaped, but not unharmed. Sorin is carrying Gray to the tub. Sorin is significantly larger than Gray, so it is almost, in my mind, like an adult carrying a child. I'm sure it's not that drastic, but that's what I picture. And Gray is telling him about the professor. He also tells his brother that he has this plan where he's going to lie about his age. He's currently only 13. You need to be 15 to bond with a creature, technically. But he wants to lie about his age and bond with a unicorn. And that way he'll be able to go to the...
Chapter 4, A Unicorn's Trial of Worth picks up. And we end up going to the southern field and finding the 7 unicorns that we were talking about earlier to try to bond with them. We meet the kind of like quote-unquote herd leader, Starling, who presents himself as the leader. And Starling is pretty rude, to be honest. Tells Gray and Sorin that they're both too young. And then he goes back to Sorin and was like, well, he's not too young really, but you definitely are. And I love the banter of Gray just being like, well, I'm actually the older twin of the two of us, so it really isn't, you know, if he's old enough, I'm old enough. I hate to say this because it's true, but it's not. That Gray is clearly the brains of the twins than Sorin, who is more of the bronze. Sorin being the poet, obviously he's not stupid. I'm not saying he is, but you can definitely tell who the more physically inclined is versus the more intelligent or the more intellectually inclined. We determined that we have to race the unicorns for the Trial of Worth, and they're trying to basically do across the field. Gray was working on things while he's talking. He's got that silver tongue, and he's really quick on his feet thinking, and decided that they were going to basically punk the unicorns into doing something that is a true test of their abilities, not just the silly run across the field. They're going to run all the way to Honeysuckle Meadow, which is the very northernmost part of the island. And honestly, like the amount of times that the Honeysuckle Meadow has been mentioned, I really want to see like an artist rendering of the Honeysuckle Meadow. I think that would be just absolutely amazing. And before we get off, he's talking to Sorin because Sorin knows they're not going to win. Gray says that he's got a plan, and he's definitely thinking outside of the box in order to bend the rules, I guess.
Something like...
Yeah.
Chapter 5 is a race to Honeysuckle Meadow. Gray is planning, and he's planning, but as I'm thinking about this Trial of Worth, a unicorn is a horse. These horses say their Trial of Worth is to race a human. Usain Bolt's not beating a unicorn in a race. Like, nobody's going to bond with these unicorns. So, already off to a bad start, but Gray is obviously having some plan in his mind of how to do this. And essentially what he wants to do is, while the unicorns are running around to get to Honeysuckle Meadow, he and Sorin are going to go. They're going to steal horses from a nearby farmer, take a shortcut, and then beat the unicorns there between the shortcut and having a horse to race a horse. So they steal these horses. They are galloping through the town. The people in the town are chasing them because they've obviously stolen the horses. The unicorns are running rampant. There's chaos everywhere. Sorin and Gray do win, though. They do make it to the meadow first. The unicorns say, hey, you did beat us. We will bond. Starling says, hey, I'm the best. I'm the alpha, so I get to bond first. Sorin's very uneasy at this point. He doesn't want to start out on a lie. One, they lied about their age, and two, they kind of tricked their way through this trial of worth. Gray ends up, he's on the fence. He ends up kind of giving in to his brother. He doesn't want his brother to feel like he didn't earn this or that they went about this the wrong way. So he does end up giving in and telling the unicorns, like, hey, we lied about our age. We're not actually old enough to bond. We're only 13. The unicorns get all pissy and storm off, and Gray and Sorin are left to kind of get in trouble for all the havoc that they've now wrecked, and they don't even have, and they're not even Arcanists to show for it at the end of the day.
And that is where chapter 5 ends with this week's episode. Next week we'll be getting into the next 5 chapters, 6 through 10. Definitely, again, super excited about getting into these. We have plenty of bestiaries that we're going to be looking into. We saved quite a lot that's already been released from the first wave of bestiary so that we can discuss them in this series. So again, I know we've been kind of plateaued on the bestiary, but we will be getting back into that today. Or we'll be getting back into that in this series. With that, Scott, did you have anything else you'd like to add this week?
No, I'm excited to dive in. New characters, new creatures. It'll be good.
All right. With that, we'll catch you guys next week.